Hola, ¿qué pasa, campeones? My name is Diego, and this is the spot where we talk all things Barça. Today, we're going to be talking about the article that I wrote for Barça Blaugranes, the Champions League obsession and the dangers of it. I want to discuss the match previa, Barça Alaves. I want to discuss, of course, La Liga going over to the US of A to play official games over there. Then it's Q's and A's time, questions and answers. Answer your questions and a whole bunch of other good stuff. If you like what you're hearing, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and when you do, click that notifications button so you don't miss out on impromptuous episodes like this one. Stick around, it's gonna be fun. Vamos. ¿Qué pasa, campeones? As well, let me give a second to plug my little social media account, I guess. Make sure you give me a follow at This Is The Spot on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Johnny is saying that the title is wrong. Should be review, not preview. Preview happen. I'm gonna discuss the preview, not the review, my friend. Anyways, I'm going to get to your questions after. First of all, I wanted to discuss this one right here, the article, which is causing, I don't want to say causing quite a stir, but certainly I'm getting a lot of interesting feedback on what I wrote for Barça Blaugranes. And I wanted to discuss it to basically, I guess, explain why I chose to write this article and why I feel like there is a potential danger behind obsessing over the Champions League trophy. Now, starting off with the words that Messi spoke ahead of the Joan Gamper trophy 2 days ago now. He said that if last year was already a good year after winning La Copa and La Liga, it's also true that we were left with una espina clavada, translated as thorn in the flesh, when it comes to the Champions League and the manner in which we were eliminated. Absolutely 100% true. So ahead of this season, we promise that we'll do everything possible to make sure this beautiful and desired cup will return once again to the Camp Nou. Look, first of all, let me just say that of course I agree. I want nothing more but the Champions League trophy to come back to the Camp Nou, not only last year, but this year, the next year, the following, and the following, till we get so sick of it as the Copa del Rey. Let me just say this. What struck my attention, and I hope you guys read the article. If not, again, you can check it out over there on Barça Blaugranes. But my point was the words "we will do anything possible" struck me as obsessive or potentially obsessed. I said fixated. I said here. Okay, why do I say that? Is because first of all, this is Barça, guys, okay? I don't want Barça to basically, and I'm summarizing my article here. If you want to read it in depth, it's not too long, but go ahead and read it. But what I want to make clear here is that, first of all, I want Barça to compete for all three competitions, and that is, or all competition that we play in, really. So, tanto la Liga, como la Copa del Rey, como la Champions. All three. Do I think we need to prioritize? Well, I will say that I agree with the likes of Carles Puyol, who said, look, in the Copa del Rey, why don't we rest our stars a little bit more, our starting squad, and rotate our players more, give other players more time to basically get continuation, get playing minutes, etc., etc. I certainly agree with Carles Puyol 100%. That said, I don't think it's something that we need to throw aside neither and dismiss and say, you know what, we're not even going to try, we're not going to compete in this competition whatsoever, because all we want is to really is to compete in the Champions League. Our focus is the Champions League 100%. And all the other, well, is a nice added bonus, but, you know, si lo ganamos bien, y si no, pues mira, es lo que hay. If we win it, good, but if not, then, well, this year we don't win La Liga or the Copa. No, I think that's a wrong mindset, and that is what, when I heard Leo Messi's words, that is what really kind of struck me as potentially something that we could, this team could basically run itself into a trap. And why do I say that as well? Is because the Champions League also, there's a big factor of luck. Regardless of how, motivated you are and how dedicated you are to winning the trophy, you cannot forget that basically it depends on many factors. The team that you play against, but also, the referee. In La Liga obviously is a lot more consistent. It's week after week, so you have the ability to be a lot more consistent in your display of how good you are or how bad you are. Really, in the Champions League, not. I mean, there's other factors that determine the outcome. So regardless if Barca plays phenomenal football, there will be other factors to determine whether we will go ahead to the next round or not. Now, of course, what do I not? And I mentioned this in the article. What do I want? I do not want to see another scenario like last year where, as Messi himself, not 2 days ago, but Messi himself last season said, I don't want the players to come out relaxed, complacent, not motivated, or overly confident. These were Messi's words. He said we were overly relaxed. That, of course, is completely the wrong attitude, and for sure you will run into troubles when facing any competition, any opponent, in particular the Champions League. So what did I... To cut a long story short, and I make, if you read the article, good, but if not, then I'll quickly explain. I basically compared it with a friend of mine who I was recently out with, who's having troubles in the girl department, and it basically came down to the same thing. The guy is obsessed. He's obsessed with performing, and what happens when he gets to that desired goal of basically, having sex with the girls that he's dating, the girls that he's going out with. He gets performance anxiety and then he cannot perform. I say here, pobre chico. I feel very bad for him, feel very sorry for him. But it is all mental, it's all performance anxiety, it's all this obsession with wanting to do well and basically failing. Now, of course, this was a humorous twist. I see a lot of people in the comment section of this already taking this very literal and very serious, or just not getting my point. That's fine. For those who got it, there are a lot of those you guys that did get it, and I'm getting some funny comments in return as well, so thank you for that. But that's really it. That's the point that I wanted to make. What I want to ask from this team, I don't want them to promise Champions League trophies. I don't want them to promise any trophy for that matter. All I want them is to promise that they are committed, that they will, week in, week out, will show 100% garra, como lo llamamos aquí, 100% courage, fighting spirit, win or lose. I want to be proud of this group of players because they were engaged and did everything possible they could to win the game. And in return, I say I'll promise to continue to be forever loyal, patient, and grateful. I mean, in my case, that's a given. Been a socio for nearly all my life. You plastic fans out there, which there are a lot of, you guys can demand Champions League trophies all you want, but it wasn't always the case. Again, I'm an old school culé. I remember the days where we were not winning, and winning that first Champions League trophy was a hell of a feat. Anyways, that was my article. I wanted to explain that. Moving on, I want to get to La Liga. Coño, La Liga is back. La Liga is back. Ya ha vuelto La Liga. Our first match is nothing else but Barça Alaves. Now, I think Barça Alaves, we couldn't ask for a better opponent, guys. We couldn't ask for a better opponent. Abelardo, obviously the manager there. Alaves, a team that last year I think finished sort of mid-table, 14th position, if I'm not mistaken. Well clear of relegation, but also well clear of competing for European spots. a lot of changes. They've suffered a lot of changes this summer. To name some of the guys that joined the team, Borja Baston is an interesting one, a guy that was projected to have a fantastic season over in Swansea. Didn't really. I think he scored 2 goals in 20 matches. He is now back in in La Liga, in the Spanish league. Joined Alaves. A guy with potential, surely, but still has to reach that potential. Now, the interesting guy that has joined Alaves is the Swedish striker Guedetti. Guedetti, one of Alex Johnson's favorite guys. She did a fantastic interview with him for La Liga Lowdown. Go check it out if you haven't already. But him joining Alaves is certainly an interesting signing. Scored 22 goals, I think it was, last season. So there's a lot of hope being placed on him, and as well a lot of hope being placed on a new arrival, Johnny from Segunda División, joining now the first team. Another attacking force that is going to make an interesting kind of couple with Adrián Marín, un lateral izquierdo, a left flank with a lot of offensive ability. It seems that Abelardo is contemplating or wanting him to take more of a defensive approach. He says he's willing to do whatever it takes, to fit to Abelardo's, his demands, his tactical system. But certainly a player that has a very offensive mindset, and him and Johnny and Guedetti could be an interesting force. So Barca certainly needs to be aware and take that into account. I think, however, given all the changes, given the fact that they're playing in the Camp Nou, the first match of La Liga against a team like Barca should make, I don't want to say an easy match of this, but I certainly suspect that we will win this rather comfortably. The big question is, of course, who will play for Barca. Now, Pique left. He went over to the US with permission of the club to do something with the Copa Davis. I think it was him. Of course, he's now involved with all kinds of cosas extra deportivas, or his business end of his professional life. Also has many other facets, and the Players Tribune, of course, and his involvement in the Copa Davis and the new format of it. So he traveled. Basically, why am I mentioning this is that I don't know if he will be match fit, if Valverde will count on him or no. What I think is interesting is that Juan Miranda and Ricky Puig, it looks like they will be joining the first team, at least this weekend. So that is great news for us, for all culés that believe and trust and want La Masia to succeed. Ricky Puig, of course, everybody's been talking about him the entire summer long. And Juan Miranda, an interesting option there in competition for Jordi Alba. To get to basically the players that Valverde has available, the whole squad, really. I think that we're going to see a lineup with Ter Stegen in goal, Sergio Roberto, Pique, Umtiti, and Jordi Alba in the back. I say Pique / Umtiti, although I should put a question mark behind it, because I think Lenglet has all the options to basically sub or play ahead of either Umtiti or Piqué. Umtiti because he's, of course, the World Cup winner, hasn't had any matches under his belt yet. He could very well be sitting on the bench, sitting this one out initially. Lenglet could be in the starting squad, or Piqué because of he's traveling. Maybe he comes back with a jet lag today. Who knows? So those four in the back, I think it'll be Busi, Rakitic, and Coutinho in the middle, Dembele, Messi, and Suarez up top. That is my hope. That is my hope for the 4-3-3 formation. It could be in the middle. You could see Coutinho, Artur in for Coutinho. There's many options here. Of course, we could see Semedo in the right back and Sergio Roberto slide into the midfield. Who knows? That is my prediction for the starting 11. Drop in your comments. Let me know who you think will be in the starting 11. Sorry, I just got distracted from one of your questions. I'm going to get to the La Liga USA because that is a topic that is heating people up. Okay, now, let me get to this. La Liga going over to the US Indies. The US Indies. Okay. Hold on a sec. Can you see it now? Yeah, okay, cool. So here, La Liga, this article written by Goal.com's La Liga expert, now working over at the Evening Standard, Ben Hayward, wrote La Liga to stage matches in the USA in groundbreaking 15-year agreement. Spain's top flight will become the first major league to arrange fixtures in another part of the world as the Primera División looks to gain further popularity in the United States and Canada. Let me just read here the opening paragraph before I give you my feedback. La Liga will schedule one match per season in North America, the Spanish competition announced in a press release on Thursday. In a 15-year partnership with multi-sports media and entertainment group Relevant, La Liga will take one game per year to the United States as it continues to grow its brand in the region. Bueno, lo voy a dejar ahí. Lo demás is just PR official statements crap. All right, now I'm surprised by the backlash. And I see a lot of reference journalists of mine, guys who I uphold at an extremely high level, critiquing this beyond belief, in my opinion, beyond my belief. Okay, why do I say that? I say that because from a personal perspective. Now you have to understand that I am a journalist that focuses on obviously La Liga, Spanish football, a new journalist at that. I just finished my master's. This is a completely new career for me, and I saw this. When I read this, I was thrilled. I was overjoyed with the potential behind this agreement. Now you're talking 15 years. By the time the World Cup will have taken or will just take place in North America and Central America, Mexico, US and Canada. I think this is great news for La Liga. I think it's great news as well, not only for the fans, but for us professionals who are trying to make a living, man. It's not fucking easy trying to make a living doing this. I always say that I started, D-Spot to try to make of my passion my profession. This agreement between La Liga and Relevant in promoting La Liga overseas is a huge step, in my opinion, to get more future work opportunities, man. I mean, it's logical. We're living in an age of globalization. We're living in an age where we're trying to take everything global, okay? Whether it's all types of brands, regardless the industry. In that sense, I mean, La Liga is doing nothing new, and that's what I was tweeting yesterday, nothing new than what the NBA has been doing for years. I mean, the NBA, forget preseason games, fuck that shit. Like, who gives a crap, okay? Preseason games, you gotta do what you gotta do. You go to China, you go to US, wherever it is, India, to promote the game on a preseason level, fantastic. Who cares, man? Who cares where, the players are picking their assholes and not really, still stretching out with the extra kilos from the summer break, playing half-assed at half-gas. And you want to see competitive football like I want to see competitive football. I'm a huge NBA fan, okay? I love the NBA. I never get to see it. They never play, they never play in Spain. They play in London. They play preseason games here. I want to see competitive basketball being played over here so I can see the stars of the NBA, the best basketball league in the world, in high competition mode. That is my dream. Now, if I'm an American, if I was a fan living in the US in this case, I would love to see competitive football of the best league in the world being played in my home country, for that matter. I mean, the US is huge, so, it's not like I don't know where they're going to, let's say they play in Miami. If I'm living in Cali, it's a hell of a trip for me to do just to go and watch, say, Un Español Eibar. I don't know the game that is going to play it over there. And another thing, they're talking one game. I mean, let me read it to you again. You're talking one game in a season. La Liga will schedule one match per season in North America. One match per season, guys. Oh. Are we really losing our fucking heads right now over one match a season? One match? Jesus, come on, guys. Anything that, serves the purpose to promote this fantastic league, the best league in the world, I'm all for it, man. And if it's just one match, then even more so. Honestly, I don't see the fuss. You know, I just don't. I read all of you guys. I'm going to go read your comments now, take your questions, but I don't see the fuss behind playing one match overseas. You know, everyone talking about, oh, sellouts, commercialization, think about the fans, That's exactly what La Liga is doing. They're thinking about the fans. And the fans are not only living in Eibar, they're not only living in Huesca, they're not only living in Valladolid, Barcelona, Madrid, wherever in Spain. They're all over the place. I mean, you guys, all of you guys, I don't think I have any Spanish viewers. You guys, the reason I started D-Spot was so I could broadcast to you guys, international La Liga / Barça fans, news about what is happening here in Barcelona and in Spain. Because I've lived most of my life overseas and I know how hard it is to keep up with, you know, your favorite team in La Liga because of time zones, because of a lack of media coverage, etc., whatever it is. So if you get a chance to watch your team or any team for them in a competitive competition being played in your country, then I don't know why you wouldn't be for it. The same reason why I back the Supercopa to be played in Turkey, China, wherever it might be. Send them over there. Play a couple of games. Get the Liga up to the level as the Premier League. I mean, if La Liga is already able to compete with the Premier League when it comes to quality, and you know, given how little revenue, how little, ¿cómo se dice? Joder. Ahora se me ha olvidado la palabra. How little money basically La Liga makes in compared to the Premier League. And we're able to not only compete, but be better than the Premier League. Just imagine once we are able to get some of that, get a bigger piece of that revenue pie, and get even more talent in La Liga. I mean, you know, it's exciting. I was very excited. Anyway, and that is it, man. That is it. Now on to the Q&As. We're going to take your question. Okay, starting off, scrolling back to the top. Kule Luke is saying, why do La Liga think it's a good idea to have the game played in the US? There, my answer. Johnny saying, but Sevilla match already happened. How can you preview? Sorry. Okay. It should say Alaves. I guess there's I'll thank you, Johnny, for pointing that out. El Kurdu Usman. What's going on, my friend? My one hater. Kumail saying, what's up? Johnny saying, I think our treble obsession has shown its flaws, especially in 2016. Last season, La Liga Champions League should have been the main priority. As you said, last year the king can shove. Last year, the king can shove his... Yeah, exactly, Johnny. I'm with you, my friend. Bamzi is saying... Let the likes of Atlético Valencia Villarreal fight out for the Copa. It's the only trophy they can win always. Look, I'm not going to disagree. Like I said, I want us to field the less regular players in the Copa del Rey. I agree with Puyol 100%. There's other culés that disagree, that say no, we need to field, you know, the best players all the time whenever they're fit. I don't agree. So I'm with you guys 100%. Focus should be, or I should say the priority for the first team should be Liga and Champions. Kule Luke is saying La Liga and Champions League should be priorities, yes. Anshutosh saying no less than the Champions League. Johnny saying... on having matches in the US, I think it's a terrible idea sporting-wise because it'll make La Liga teams tired in Europe because of traveling. Un partido, mi amigo. Un partido. It's only one match. Un partido de la temporada. Just one match per season. And we don't even know who's going to play there. Okay, you're going to have a bit more... what's more attractive? Un puto clásico, clásico, right? Or, as I said before, un español a la vez. But obviously we know what is the more attractive match, but we don't know who's going to play over there. We don't know when. We don't know how it's going to work out. Guys, I've had to travel for business, and granted, I didn't have to play 90 minutes of football, but you know, it's un jet lag. You get over it after a couple of days, and it's true that, you know, it's not like the La Liga is known for its organization, but hope that maybe, if not this year, over time, they'll figure out some sort of way to make this work. Kule Luke is saying La Liga is Spanish, Catalan, and Basque, not American. Gotta think big, my friend. Gotta think global. Where are you from, Kule Luke? I'm sure you would like to see an official match being played in your home country. Saji saying, what's up? What's good, Saji? Blaugrana saying, still Sergi will be in our first right back choice. I think so. I think, you know, I want Semedo to play more minutes, and I want Sergi to slot into the mid. I don't think Valverde is ready to do that. Prove me wrong. What's up, Too Fast for You? Ala Madrid is saying Nacho should start for us. Beran is drunk from the World Cup. I didn't even touch on Madrid, but Beran definitely looked sluggish over in the Supercopa. That's an understatement, I think. And Nachito is he's top class, man. He's top class. Congrats on the master. Thanks, JC. Ashutash is saying, but La Liga in the US won't have same passion for small clubs. But that's, I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right? You have to start somewhere. Just look at Espanyol. Espanyol, I think, went to somewhere like Ohio or Michigan somewhere and stayed there, camped out for a couple of weeks, really did some grassroots, if you want to call it that, marketing, or you know, brand placement, product placement. And they, rather than traveling around, they looked at one location and said, we're going to set up shop here, and we're going to, you know, drill the culture of us, you know, Periquitos into the mindset of these people locally. And you know, you got to start somewhere. So you got to start somewhere, man. You got to start somewhere. You can take the Champions League knockout to the USA. That's probably going to happen too, you know, but that's UEFA. That's not La Liga. Why not the Supercopa? The Supercopa 2. There's money to be made. Saji, you're from the US. I know. What do you got to say on this? Saji is saying there's money to be made. If this helps the league to grow, then I'm all for it. Play the Copa del Rey. Alright, guys. That's pretty much it. How many? Oh my gosh! 27 minutes already. Okay. Damn, I really want to keep these short, man. I want to keep these like 15 minutes max. So I gotta work on my timing. In any case, guys, that's it. I don't see many other questions that I can address. Thank you for your comments. Keep submitting it. Once the video's up, keep submitting your comments. D-Spot is back. I mean, I should say La Liga is back, which means D-Spot is back in full effect. More announcements to be made shortly, as I keep promising. That's it. Let me know your questions. Please like, subscribe, and share. As always, Visca Robosa. Is he saying Visca yet? Anybody you tell him to say Visca, not Visca? Alright, guys. I'm out of here. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Thanks for your comments. Peace out.